Hi, babies. I've hesitated in doing a video recently. I've had a few ideas. I've got a lot of overlap with my shadow work, and my hesitation is just like I don't want to come across as self-absorbed. But I'm kind of coming to a place where maybe sometimes we're supposed to be a little to kind of live out loud and just let our life story and our current state of being just be a platform where some truth and wisdom can be drawn out, where God can showcase what He's doing in our lives. Seems like authenticity. So that's kind of where I come from. I always kind of felt an aversion to come across as self-absorbed, and there's some conditioning we all got when we were kids. Just don't cry so much, and at this point I'm just like, I'm not really jiving with those resistant types of thoughts. So my birth mother unfortunately passed away in May of this year, about 3 months ago, exactly 3 months ago. Today's the 13th, tomorrow's the 14th. She passed away on May 14th. So, and I'm already up to my eyeballs with coming out from my hometown and selling my parents' estate, and I got a lot on my plate. And so there is a place in my heart where I've been going and aspiring for stability. There's a lot of things shaking, and I think that may be like a collective vibe that a lot of us are getting right now these days, because there's so much uncertainty. It's like all of our stability is questioned, and the foundations of a lot of things are being shaken right now. So personally speaking, I've got a history of being I was abandoned at birth, and I was adopted, and I did elder care for my parents, and there's dysfunction and narcissism and all kinds of baggage that I came out of from my local community where I was raised in and my family. So I'm processing a lot, and it's kind of overwhelming. And so the key for me has been focusing on stability and being grounded. And I've got to tell you, I have put a lot of effort towards, in different techniques and different postures before the Lord and petitions, and just being aware that it's really important for me to let my roots go down, and for me to actually feel stable from that place we can, go ahead and basically live our lives. But what's coming to me actually is that I'm entertaining the absence of stability. And when we have some aspiration, when we have a desire, and if there's something that we want in our lives, that focusing on it to an extreme and going to all kinds of measures to ensure that I got to get this, but we're actually not entertaining the thing that we desire. We're entertaining the absence of it. And so I'm learning that being stable means existing in a flow state. Being stable means just in ease. The compulsion, the extreme measures, the techniques, the diligence that we have to make sure that we're stable is actually practicing and exhibiting instability, because you're making a statement that, well, I'm not stable, instead of that we are. And we are. We really, really are. And this is where what it's coming down to for me, because there's a verse that's been clunking around in my heart for months. 1 John chapter 4 verse 17, where it says, as he is, so are we in this world. I did a video on this a few videos ago, and it's literally that as he verily is, we can make a confession, I am in this world, partaking in the divine nature, actually being an expression of God as sons of God, manifest as sons of God in this realm. I am in this world. And in my place, my stand before the Lord in this, and as I face the world, and as I scrutinize my intentions and my desires and the techniques of manifesting them, is that He is my rock. I address Him. You are my rock. And as you are my rock, so I am stable in this world. It's a present reality. It's not a removed and separated aspiration wherein I celebrate or entertain the absence, the distance between here and there. It's just like it's now, it's here. And so I have been mulling this over, and I'm just coming to a place where I'm realizing the effects in my life that I have incurred because of celebrating the absence of stability. I've got to actually have some surgery because, and when you get right down to it, stability in a physical realm, when you just want to talk about physiologically, it's like our bone structure, our marrow, our tendons, our ligaments, the cartilage, all our connective tissue in our body. That is a physical manifestation of stability. And when we have these things operating, these thoughts, this conversation on a really spiritual level that is celebrating or entertaining the absence of stability, that we're actually entertaining instability, it's going to manifest. And so I've got some torn tendons in my shoulder, and it's going to get worked on tomorrow. And so, and it's been a point of contact, and it's been a discord. There's a discord in my body, and the Lord is hearkening onto the noise. And as I'm meditating into this and walking through this stretch with Him, I'm just realizing that my structural, skeletal stability is compromised because I have been entertaining. I've been entertaining the absence of stability, and so at this point, I'm going through procedures, and I'm meditating, and I'm praying, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, we have wide open space to actually experience what we desire. All spiritual blessings are laid up for us in heavenly places. And these things are a present possession, even things that are to come. The Apostle Paul says somewhere that even such things as are to come belong to you. And so it's like I have a present possession of some things that in the natural that we perceive that are absent from our lives, and there's a separation between here and there. But literally, it's really ours. And so as I endeavor to experience and settle into stability, I don't have a mad rush to like, I got to do this, and there's this technique, and I've got to engage, the right protocols and speak the right words and affirmations and pray the right prayers in order for me to get what I want. It's like, it's more of a flow state, and it's more of a rest. When you are coming from a place of stability, when you face the world from a standpoint of stability, that verse in Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 8, I think, it talks about the Twitter-pated little girl that ends up being the lover of the bridegroom. She sees him from afar. He's leaping across the hills. And it's so there's that flow state. There's that manifestation. That's who Jesus is, actually. That's a manifestation of Jesus as the bridegroom. And so there is just a second, it's just a second nature. It's you're going out and going from hill to hill, and you're facing your precipice, and we're all at a precipice, aren't we? There's so many things that are uncertain, and there's just wide open space, and it's like we step forth into it, and it's like, what is going on? But there's an ease of mobility when you're actually experiencing stability because you're not rigid and making sure every foot's going to fall in the right spot. You're just looking and cleaving to this heavenly vision of who Jesus is, going from hill to hill, leaping across the hills. And that is the place of stability. That is a flow state. That's a place where we don't give mind to any longer to what's going on in our bodies or what we'll eat. I mean, Jesus said, give no thought to such things as these. Why do we give no thought to such things as these? Why do I give no thought to my imperative to be grounded? Why do I give no thought to what I'm going to eat? Why do I give no thought to where I'm going to stay? Because the present reality is that I am cared for, I am succored, and there is a foundation, and we are presently grounded. And when we believe that, and when that faith actually is activated, there's just going to be such an ease of mobility to move on into our future. So I'm going to get fixed up tomorrow a little bit, and I'm looking forward to the recovery process. It's down to brass tacks. It's down to a foundational level, and from there, I'm going to build up. I'm sitting here at my desk in this little office space, and I'm looking over here, and there is a mansion right over here, and I've got a wonderful view here, and I just had to share this. I could have wove it into some of my thoughts earlier, but I'm just going to cap off with this thought that this house, there's a big house, a mansion, say right over there, and I look at it every day outside my window, and part of my technique and protocol in acquiring stability is that I do grounding exercises. I literally go out in the grass, plant my feet in the ground. I look up on the hill at that mansion, and I just suck in the beauty, the architectural design of that, and just it's pertinent to me because I'm coming off of a place where I sold my family home, and here I am. I stepped out after the elder care and after, years of being associated with my hometown and being there and never really being grounded or stable there for whatever reason. And so I sold that home and I landed in this place, and I could have landed in a lot of other places after I left Hubbardson, but here I am, and I look up and it's like, I just drink in that home, that house. And so that has been a grounding point for me. I look up and it's like I literally go out, plant my feet in the grass, and I don't need permission to be here. I'm supposed to be here. That's literally a mantra, a saying that I say over there a lot. And this is maybe one of the techniques that I exacerbates my sense, the absence of stability, but it's been a good grounding practice. And I go out there and just look at that and just drink in stability, drink in a home. It's like God's planting a new vision for a bigger house in my eyes since I left my other one. And so, and that's, I'm not saying I'm going to move in over there, but it's indicative and symbolic of such things as are to come, and that we are cared for, and that God's got broad spaces. I mean, what did Jesus say? He said that I gone to prepare a place for you. There's mansions. I've got a mansion, and I'll come back and receive you to myself. And there's a habitation, and there are breadths, and there is an environment that He's inviting us into where we don't have to worry about the stability. We don't have to act rigidly. We don't have to worry about where we're going to plant our feet, because it is so established. It's like not even something that comes to mind anymore, and we're actually free to enter into that flow state and have that mobility of ease. Thank you for hearing me out, babies. I've got to pipe up more. There's, like I said, shadow work going on, and I've got, the nuts and bolts of a lot of really visceral issues going on in my life, and I've hesitated from sharing. And if it overlaps, it overlaps. It's still a platform for Holy Ghost. It's still a platform for authenticity and relationship. This is where I am, so I may not come with a concise, admonition or a revelation from the Bible or from the Holy Ghost, but He meets us where we are, and it's got to be from that place that we make our statements, our declarations, our confessions, and our testaments. So We take big risks in being authentic and humble, but that's what God's all about. Because anything other than that, it's like you're removing yourself and going ahead and celebrating that and entertaining that separation again. And we don't do that. We're whole. We're now. We're in our bodies. We're in the places where we inhabit, and God's with us. And so as soon as we stop spinning our wheels trying to get somewhere else, we've actually got gifts and treasure to offer to others. I love you. Bye.